Welcome to your very first call for the Success and Nothing Less group that you guys are in to hit Diamond and Star Diamond. We're going to be doing a call every Monday at noon Eastern Time and Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Time. And the topic is different every time, but your very first call with us is with myself, Samantha Hawley, and LaShure, and we're going to be talking about time management tips. And we're both going to be sharing a little bit of our story when we get into that. So we'll share the slides that we came up with for you guys. So time management, just a very quick snapshot of me and my story is when I signed up as a coach, I really wasn't looking to coach full-time whatsoever. I'm trying to make the images on this side. Okay. Anyways, I wasn't trying to coach full time. That was not my intention at all. I was happy at my corporate job. I was traveling abroad for the job, so it was pretty cool. And I really just, first of all, wanted to get fit because I was at a time where I just did not feel confident about my body. And once I started Turbo Fire, that was when I started to see changes in my body, and more importantly, mentally. I felt so much more happy by incorporating consistent working out and nutrition with my lifestyle. And so I thought if I could help literally one person a month, maybe 3 people a month, then I could earn a little bit more money and I would put it directly towards my student loans. And honestly, my goal at first was to earn $150 a month. I wasn't even on HD at the time because I didn't know if Shakeology was worth it or not. And I started off very slow because that's all I really knew. But my coach was telling me if I want to earn extra money each month, I have to hit Success Club. And so I made Success Club 10 and no matter what from month 2. And then I started, recruiting some coaches and I started doing these activities that hopefully everyone in this group is doing already. And my business just kind of started to grow. My income was growing consistently. Coaches actually wanted to work the business, which was awesome. And my passion was more turning towards coaching. I wanted to spend all day long coaching and helping my coaches and recruiting new coaches and all of that, and not so much doing the Excel work that I had been doing before at GE. And so for me, it was at that point where I was like, okay, I'm going to do all that I can in my Beachbody business and see how far I can get. Maybe it'll lead to quitting. Who knows? I'm still not at that point yet, but I'm just going to see what I can do. And with that mindset, I thought, in order to do that, I need to put a lot more effort in, which means a lot more time. And I was spending way too much time on my business. Not only at work, I was multitasking, AKA doing Beachbody almost all day long. But I would come home and live and breathe Beachbody and not spend any attention to my boyfriend at the time and now fiance. It was like an awful whirlwind where I wasn't happy anymore in Beachbody. So I needed to figure out how can I manage all of that. So hopefully the tips I'm going to share with you guys will help you guys work smarter, not harder. You do not have to work 1,000,000 hours a week in order to move your Beachbody business forward. And the one book that changed all of this for me is called Eat That Frog. So for those of you guys that need help with time management, definitely get this. I have it right here. And right in the front of the book, it actually gives you 21 different ways to stop procrastinating and to get more done in less time. And it gives you a quick synopsis of each tip. So after you read it, you can just look there and quickly see an area today that you might want to focus on. So I think I'm covering 3 different tips out of those 21 that will really help you to move your business forward in the amount of time that you have. Lauren's at school right now. Brittany is a stay-at-home mom. You guys don't have all day to work your business. So one of the most important things is to start off with your goals. You need to know what you're pushing towards. So I suggest write down your yearly goals and your monthly goals. And that way, when you sit down to work your business, whether you work 30 hours in the morning, 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night, or 1 power hour, whatever you do, when you sit down, you want to know that the tasks you're going to be doing will help you reach those specific goals. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. I think I got it. Okay, and then also make sure the activities that you do align with those goals. So hopefully a lot of you guys in here, those of you that are already diamonds, one of your goals should be to build diamonds so that you can get to star diamond. So if your goal is to build more diamonds, but you're spending 100% of your time on recruiting new coaches and posting, not on team management, not on building your existing coaches, you're not going to hit that goal. So it's nice just to look at your goals, look at your daily tasks, and will those tasks that you do today help you get to those goals? The way that you do that, or at least the way I do it, is by making a list. I'm very much an emerald personality, which is, I'm really not good at math, and people assume that, but I just need like to-do lists and strategy and organization and all of that. So make a list of your yearly and monthly goals. Then you want to write down a list of tasks that will help you get there. And the book suggests that you even do yearly tasks, like what do you need to get done this year? For me, that's a little bit daunting, so I just focus on monthly. And so I gave you some examples of what I have done. So my monthly tasks are start a new coach training group, host a diamond push group, become a speaker on 14 calls this month, host sneak peek into coaching groups, monthly, I can't see what that says, monthly calls. So those are all the things that I have to do every single month, or at least this May. Those are things that I have to do. Then I break it down into weekly tasks. What are the tasks that I have to do each week? Email my leads, send out HD notices to people that are going to be shipped more Shakeology, schedule posts, recognize my team, host my team small group chats, check in with my coaches, all of that. And then daily tasks, invites to coaching, invites to challenge groups, follow-ups, posting groups, all of those things that must get done every single day. And when I look at all of these things and then I tie them back to my monthly goals, like this month, my goal is to hit Success Club 20. So those inviting will help me get there. Finish Contagious. That's the book, PD book that I'm reading. So I should probably add into daily tasks of reading personal development. 10 new coaches. Again, inviting will help me get there. Checking in with my coaches will help me reach my goal of building 12 personally sponsored coaches at Success Club this month. So again, always look at your list and tie it back to those goals. Okay, and the last thing you need to do with your tasks is prioritize every single one that you write down. The way that the book suggests you prioritize them is A through E. A being the most important task, like you have to get it done, and E being the least important task, where it'd be nice if you get it done, but you don't really have to do that today. And so 2 things to consider here. One is you need to eat that frog. And what that means is actually the frog down at the bottom of the page. The whole book is based off of this quote. Eat a live frog every morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. So what that means is your frog is typically the one activity that is so important to your business that you always procrastinate because you don't like doing it. Hold on, I'm hearing background noise. I don't know how to mute you guys. If you guys can just mute your Zooms, that would be awesome. Okay, so your frog is that activity that's super important that you always procrastinate because you hate doing it, or you don't know how to do it maybe, or you want to find a new way to do it, anything like that. And so prioritize that frog. For me, my frog is inviting. I don't like inviting. I put it off so much so that it falls off today's list and then tomorrow's list. And then there has been like weeks where I don't send a new invite. I'm just following up because I like follow-ups. But what I found is that my business stalled. If I'm not inviting people, my business won't grow. So identify what your frog is. It could be inviting. It could be follow-ups. It could be personal development. Maybe you hate personal development and reading, but you need to do it or else you won't fill your cup and be motivated and in the right mindset to help other people. So identify that frog, and that is the first thing you do every single day. So invites is my number one thing right off the bat that I'm trying to do. Also consider the law of three. So right now, I have my list here on my to-do list of it's probably like 20 things I have to do today. But I go through that list and say, okay, if I only do 3 things today and I wanted to feel successful and be super productive, what would those 3 things be? And everything else I can move to tomorrow. And label that. Label it A1, A2, A3, so you know exactly what to do. And you can do that with your B, C, D, and E's as well, so that you know like which ones you can focus on later. And the last thing is develop a sense of urgency. The longer you wait to do these activities, the longer you're procrastinating your business from growing. And relating this back to the invites, I procrastinated so much on invites to the point where I wasn't doing them. Whereas once I read this book and it said, develop a sense of urgency, there's no reason that you need to wait. So I'd say, okay, sit down for 20 minutes and do invites. I got through like 15 invites. It was so simple. I just went down my list and I sent out an invite and it was fun. And so when I do it and you like hold yourself to a time frame, which I think Ashley will talk about a little bit, it's a lot more fun and you just get it out of the way. So you're not procrastinating your business. Ashley can take it over.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to share my time management tips. You can go on to the next screen. I'm going to give you guys a few tips that you guys should remember and kind of live by in this business, which is 1, plan ahead. It's so much easier when you plan your posts ahead of time, whether like what type of recruiting you're going to do, whether it be for your challenge group or, the coaching opportunity or whatever it may be. It's just so much easier when you plan everything ahead in your business. Another one is get up early. I know, especially if you work from home in this business, it's, you're in this business to be able to do what you want. You don't want to have to get up early if you don't have to. Get up at noon if you want to. But from my experiences, getting up early and getting everything that I need done early I just feel so much more accomplished when I do that. When I first started working from home just on Beachbody this past July, I had that mindset where, okay, I can do whatever I want now, get up whenever I want, and I'll be good. And I literally got nothing done in my business. My business stalled because I would wake up, 8 o'clock, or, I would have to get up early to take my son to school, but I would come home and just nap or do whatever I want just because I thought I could do whatever I want. So for me, getting up early is a huge thing just because I get so much done early. 3, make sacrifices. Again, like getting up early, that's making a sacrifice. Going to bed late, that's making a sacrifice. Missing your favorite TV shows, anything little, any little sacrifice that you can make in this business is totally worth it, especially in the beginning, because it'll definitely pay off, in the end in this business. And number 4 is focus. I still have, a hard time focusing a lot sometimes in this business, but I'm going to talk about this in a little bit too, is you really have to sit down, figure out what you're going to do in that moment and focus only on that one thing. Like scrolling Facebook, that's a huge time waster for me. And I feel like a lot of people do that too. Sometimes I'll scroll Facebook for like an hour and I'm like, okay, I could have done so much in that 1 hour. So definitely focus. You can go on to the next screen. My story, I'm just going to share just like the beginning of my story with you guys, just because it has a lot to do with time management. When I started coaching, I, was a single mom working 3 jobs. I was still finishing school and taking care of my sick mom at the time. Day in and day out, she was going through chemo and she just had a couple surgeries. So I literally had to stay the night at her house with my son every night. I had to walk her to the bathroom if she had to go to the bathroom. I had to help her shower. I had to do, everything for her just because she couldn't do anything at the time. So I had to do that, on top of everything else. So I literally had no time to work my business, it seemed like, just because I was so busy. And, if you can imagine working all those jobs, doing all those things you have to do as a mom, and especially by yourself too, and, having to focus on schoolwork, all of that stuff, and taking care of my mom, it was just, I literally had no time to do anything. So I had to schedule everything in my life. I had to schedule like when I was going to eat. I had to schedule everything. And the little sacrifices that I took was I would wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. just to work out, because I had to be at my first job at 6:30 a.m. So I would work out early in the morning. And if I had like 10 minutes to spare, I would do, a few follow-ups or maybe send a couple invites, and definitely do like a posting. And then like at my lunch break, I think I had an hour. So I would do a lot of my stuff during that time if I could. Anything between follow-ups, invites, doing another post, any of that. And then I wouldn't get home till really late. So if I did miss my workout in the morning, I would, sacrifice going to bed early, and I would work out between like 11 and midnight. So it was pretty crazy, but it was just those little sacrifices that I took, just for, like a year. And, it all paid off in the end, because now I work from home, and, I don't have 3 jobs, and I, finished with school. My mom is all good now, and all that stuff. It was just worth it in the end, scheduling that little bit of time and just spending, sometimes I'd only spend maybe 20 minutes a day on my Beachbody business, but I did it every day consistently. And, that's what made my business grow. You can go on the next screen. Okay, I'm going to talk about planning ahead. I got this tip from Melanie Mitro. I think it was at Leadership. But I loved how she did this, and it worked really well for me once I implemented it in my business. But the first 2 months, I would just use a calendar on my computer. But the first 2 months, I would advertise a challenge group. So every day I would post something about, joining my challenge group. And it doesn't have to be like, I have 5 spots left for my next group. It doesn't have to be like that all the time. It could just be anything little of what you're going to be doing in your challenge group, or what your challenge group's about, or post a picture of you working out and just talk about your challenge group, anything like that, as long as you're mentioning it every day for those 2 weeks. And picking a theme too, which is, I love the idea of picking themes for your challenge groups, because you can focus on that one theme and it hits different people. Because if you're just talking about a challenge group all the time, it doesn't really reach everyone when certain people are looking for certain things. So even just like recently, I talked about starting a nutrition group, all based on nutrition. And I reached a lot of people that I wasn't reaching before. So I definitely think themes are really, really good. And then like the last 2 weeks of the month, I advertise, the coaching opportunity. And again, do the theme as well on that. And every day, one post that talks about coaching. And again, it doesn't have to be like, hey, I'm looking for 5 girl bosses. Just something different every day, where it's something you like about coaching, what coaching's done for you, the benefits of coaching, anything like that. We'll go on to the next screen. Setting hours. I think this is huge, especially coming from my busy, crazy life when I first started coaching. And, everything that comes in between, like, scrolling Facebook, all that. I think setting hours is huge. And for me, I gave you an example right here. So now I get up early again, just because I love getting up early and getting everything done out of the way, because I can get so much done by like 11 o'clock if I stick to my hours. So I get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, get my workout done, and by 6 to 6:30, I'll do challenge group invites. 6:30 to 7, I'll do coach invites. 7 to 8 is, the time frame where I'll get my son ready to school and off to school by 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 9, I scheduled my breakfast and personal development. I schedule that because if I don't schedule time to eat, sometimes I'm so into my business that I literally will forget to eat, and it's like 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. So I definitely had to, live by this schedule. And then from 9 to about 9:30, follow-ups, and 9:30 to 9:45, new contacts, which is just adding new friends on your social media. 9:30, 9:45, comments on post. 10 to 10:15, new combos, which are non-Beachbody related. And then from 10:15 to 11, I'll do my group posts, which is basically just any challenge groups I have going on, or maybe any training groups I have going on. I'll do my post for that group for the day and answer any questions, anything like that. And then from 11 to about 1:30 is, all based around my team. So anything I need to get done, maybe any type of training videos or recognition, answering messages back if they've messaged me any questions, anything like that, I try to do it within that time frame. And I like to let my coaches know, my set hours, just because they'll respect that and they'll know that you're not ignoring them when you're not getting back to them right away. And it'll encourage them to set hours for themselves as well. And then from 2 on for the rest of the night, I have family time. And I think it's really important to schedule all this stuff, even family time, dinner, any of that, just because, like myself, I got into this business so I could have more freedom. When I was working my 3 jobs, all that, I didn't get to take my son to school. I didn't get to make him breakfast for school. I didn't get to do dinner with him a lot or put him to bed, a lot of that stuff, just because I was working all the time. So I didn't have that time with him, him growing up. So now he gets out of school at 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock on, it's my family time. I don't want to take any more time away from them. So for me, that just works. I'm going to the next screen. And last one is focus. Like I said, stop scrolling Facebook. I still do it sometimes, and I literally have to stop myself just because I feel like there's something I'm going to miss. I have to scroll it a million times. But you really have to stop doing that if you can, because it's such a time waster. Like I said, I'll find myself scrolling for an hour, and that's literally like a whole power hour that you can get done in that hour that you wasted scrolling Facebook. So definitely try to do that. Turn all notifications off. I recently just finally turned my chat ones off on Facebook because I noticed that, I'll be doing some business on Facebook, whatever, and all these boxes will constantly pop up and people ask me questions about my challenge groups or a coach asking a question. And I always felt like I had to instantly, answer that question or talk to them about my challenge group or whatnot. And it just took all that focus away from what I was doing. And I would forget what I was doing, and then I wouldn't finish it, and it would take forever to finish it. So definitely turn off all your notifications and focus on what you're doing at that time. And lastly, set timers. I forgot, I think it was on a live power hour I was on one time, but she talked about setting timers where, so like on my schedule, you notice I think it was challenge groups for 30 minutes, challenge group invites. So I would set a timer for 30 minutes on my phone and just focus on those invites. It works really well when I do it, because when I have that timer set, I'm just focusing on that one thing that I have to do until that timer goes off. And I love it because I'm not focusing on, getting 10 to 20 invites out. I'm just focusing on that valuable time. And I just think it's more effective that way too. And on an ending note for me, either you run the day or the day runs you. So I hope this helps you guys. Oops.
My computer is so weird right now. It's like not letting me do anything. All right, you guys, any questions from that? Do you guys feel like you're doing really well with time management, or is that like your top issue? How are you guys on time management now?
For me, I really think that, because I go to school and then I have 2 jobs plus my 3 kids and the house and everything. So I definitely think setting hours for myself is a big thing. I've tried it a couple months back, and then I never really stuck to it. But I'd really like to get up early and just really stick to it and set the hours. And then what Ashley said, setting what you do within those business hours would really help as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you have to find what works for you guys. Like Ashley is one of my coaches, and I remember when she was like 2 months in, she messaged me when she was in the hospital room with her mom. She was just like, I think you said you were sitting at her bed or like in the corner of the room, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I think she was doing follow-ups then. And so, like, when you have the free time, pencil in what you're going to do, and then just do it. Put your blinders on. Set your timer and make it work for you. Like Ashley's schedule or my schedule or anyone's schedule might not be right for you. So you really do need to take the time to sit down, plan out what you're going to do, and then when will you do it? When will it fit into your schedule? Ashley, Sheena says, any chance you have suggestions for people with kids home during the day? You might be better to answer that than me.
Yes. My son goes to school now, but like when he has days off, I realize it is a struggle to get everything you need done. So when I know he does have a day off, I will wake up early like I normally do, and I'll kind of change my schedule around. So instead of working out really early and getting my personal development and breakfast and all that done out of the way first, I will flip it, and I'll do like my challenge group invites, coaching invites, follow-ups, all that stuff out of the way, early before he gets up. And he gets up now about 7:30 if he doesn't have school, 7:38. So I'll try to get everything done in that time frame, and it really should only take you like 30 minutes to get some, invites out and, a few follow-ups out. And also, I don't know how old your kids are, but if they're young, they'll take naps, get it done when they're napping. And I guess it's hard to do it when your kids are home, but definitely squeeze it in where you kind of naps really early and, after they go to bed.
Any other questions? All right. We said we were going to do this in 30 minutes, and we have 2 minutes to spare. So I think we did well for the first time ever. All right, you guys. Well, if you have any questions, just post in the group underneath this recording. I'll post it as soon as it uploads, so probably 15 minutes or so. But thank you guys for hopping on for this 30 minutes, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.